Welcome back my YouTube channel. I am telling about for this coin the 1924 Mercury Dime, United States one-dime coin, covering its artistic origins, political and economic background, production history, symbolism, circulation, and legacy. The 1924 Mercury Dime. History, Art, and American Identity Introduction. The 1924 Mercury Dime, officially known as the Winged Liberty Head Dime, is one of the most admired and historically significant coins in United States numismatics. Though small in size and face value, the coin reflects a transformative era in American history, an age marked by postwar optimism, economic expansion, artistic renewal, and cultural change. Minted during the Roaring Twenties, the Mercury Dime symbolizes America's desire to redefine itself after World War I, embracing classical beauty, democratic ideals, and national confidence. This essay explores the full historical context of the 1924 Mercury Dime, including its artistic origins, designer, symbolism, economic environment, minting details, circulation, and lasting legacy. Far more than a 10-cent coin, the Mercury Dime is a compact expression of American identity in the early 20th century. Origins of the Mercury Dime design. The coinage renaissance of the early 1900s. By the early 20th century, many Americans, including politicians, artists, and historians, believed U.S. coinage had become uninspired. Designs used since the mid-1800s were considered utilitarian rather than artistic. President Theodore Roosevelt strongly advocated for artistic reform, initiating what became known as the American coinage renaissance. Though Roosevelt left office in 1909, his influence endured. The U.S. Mint continued redesigning coins, seeking inspiration from classical Greek and Roman art to express democratic ideals and permanence. In 1916, the U.S. Mint replaced the barber dime with a new design that would later be known as the Mercury Dime. The designer, Adolf A. Weinman. The Mercury Dime was designed by Adolf Alexander Weinman, a German-born American sculptor trained under the legendary Augustus St. Gaudens. Weinman was a prominent figure in American art and architecture, contributing sculptures to buildings, medals, and monuments across the nation. Weinman submitted designs for both the dime and the half-dollar in 1916, and both were selected. His dime design quickly became one of the most beloved in U.S. history. Why it is called the Mercury Dime. The coin is commonly known as the Mercury Dime, but this name is technically incorrect. The obverse, front, depicts Lady Liberty, not the Roman god Mercury. Liberty wears a winged Phrygian cap, symbolizing freedom of thought. The wings led many to mistake Liberty for Mercury, the Roman messenger god, who also wore winged headgear. Despite the misnomer, the name Mercury Dime became firmly established and remains universally used by collectors and historians. Symbolism of the design. Obverse, front, Lady Liberty represents freedom and democracy. The winged cap symbolizes intellectual liberty and progress. The word liberty arcs across the top. The date 1924 appears at the bottom. Weinman's initials, AW, appear subtly near Liberty's neck. Reverse, back, a fasces, an ancient Roman symbol of authority and unity, stands vertically. An olive branch is wrapped around the fasces, symbolizing peace. The inscription E pluribus unum, out of many, one, reinforces national unity. United States of America and one dime identify the issuing nation and denomination. The combination of military strength, fasces, and peace, olive branch, reflects America's post-World War I philosophy, prepared for defense but committed to peace. America in 1924. Historical context. The Roaring Twenties. The year 1924 fell squarely within the Roaring Twenties, a decade of economic growth, technological innovation, and cultural transformation. Key characteristics of the era included rapid industrial expansion, mass production of automobiles, growth of consumer culture, jazz music, and modern entertainment, changing roles for women, rising urbanization. The Mercury Dime circulated widely in everyday commerce, passing through the hands of factory workers, shopkeepers, farmers, and professionals alike. Economic conditions in 1924. 1924. The U.S. economy was relatively strong. Inflation was low. Wages were rising. The U.S. dollar was backed by precious metals. Silver coins had intrinsic value. The Mercury Dime was composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it real purchasing power. 10 cents could buy a newspaper, a loaf of bread, or a streetcar ride. Minting of the 1924 Mercury Dime. The 1924 Mercury Dime was struck at 3 U.S. mint facilities: 1. Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark; 2. Denver Mint, D mint mark; 3. San Francisco Mint, S mint mark. Mintage numbers: approximate, 1924. Philadelphia 75 million coins, 1924. D. Denver 9.3 million coins, 1924. S. San Francisco 4.7 million coins. The 1924 S Mercury Dime is considered the key date of the year due to its relatively low mintage and weaker strike quality. Circulation and everyday use. Mercury dimes were heavily circulated. Unlike commemorative or collector coins, they were intended for daily commerce. Most 1924 dimes experienced significant wear, making high-grade specimens rare today. They were used in grocery stores, public transportation, restaurants, movie theaters, newsstands. Mercury dimes were heavily circulated. Unlike commemorative or collector coins, they were intended for daily commerce. Most 1924 dimes experienced significant wear, making high-grade specimens rare today. They were used in grocery stores, public transportation, restaurants, movie theaters, newsstands. The coin was a tangible part of everyday American life during a decade of optimism and progress. Production challenges and quality. Many Mercury dimes, especially those minted in San Francisco, were weakly struck due to worn dies and high production demands. This resulted in less detail in Liberty's hair. Weak fasces. Bands. Reduced definition on the olive branch. Collectors today value full bands, FB examples. Coins with fully defined horizontal bands on the fasces, especially for the 1924 S issue. The end of the Mercury Dime. The Mercury Dime design remained in use until 1945. In 1946, it was replaced by the Roosevelt Dime, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt following his death. Despite its replacement, the Mercury Dime continued to circulate into the 1950s and early 1960s, until rising silver prices led to widespread hoarding. Silver content and melting era. Each Mercury Dime contains 0.07234 troy ounces of silver. In the 1960s and 1970s, as silver prices rose, many were melted for bullion. This reduced the surviving population, increasing the historical and collectible value of remaining examples, especially well-preserved 1924 dimes. Collecting the 1924 Mercury Dime today. The 1924 Mercury Dime is a popular collector coin due to its beautiful design, historical significance, silver content, accessibility. For beginners, values vary widely based on condition and mint mark. Circulated examples are affordable. Uncirculated and full bands coins command premium prices. The 1924 S is especially sought after cultural and artistic legacy. The Mercury Dime is often cited as one of the most beautiful coins ever produced by the United States. Its influence extends beyond numismatics into American art and design. It represents classical ideals in modern America, the balance of strength and peace. The dignity of everyday money. Collectors and historians alike view it as a triumph of artistic coinage. Conclusion: the 1924 Mercury Dime is far more than a 10-cent piece. It is a window into American life during the 1920s, a period of confidence, creativity, and cultural evolution. Designed by Adolph A. Weinman, the coin captures timeless ideals of liberty, unity, and peace through elegant classical imagery. From bustling city streets to quiet rural towns, the 1924 Mercury Dime circulated as a symbol of economic stability and national identity. Today, it stands as a cherished artifact, reminding us that even the smallest objects can carry immense historical meaning and the story of American coinage. The 1924 Mercury Dime remains a shining chapter, small in size, but rich in history.